Hi. Um, I'm recording this video on Wednesday, February 25th. It is after our Lenten service is over, and I just realized that there's a bunch of people for whom I'd love to gather together for a meeting. But the chances of that happening before next Wednesday are pretty small. And so this is the next best thing. I'm going to try to share a link to this video with as many people as I possibly can to help us get on the same page. I should also say that this really is recorded before I've had a chance to debrief much with Pastor Erica, and some of this might change, but I wanted to at least get my thoughts out here for you before we before I forget. So I made this outline to kind of help me walk through this quickly with you. I thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and I don't want to waste your time. And so you'll just see the discussion headings that if you were here with me, I would kind of want to walk through with you or with everybody. The first thing is that there was some confusion about communion. There isn't any during Lent, and so communion doesn't need to be set up. Also, I've gussied up the worship outline by quite a bit, but I need Pastor Erica to flesh out the prayer station instructions for everybody, especially thinking about the fact that in a couple weeks I'll have to run the show by myself. Or will I? I can't remember. Maybe I won't, but at any rate, it would be good to get those instructions down so that if I need to do that, I'm prepared to. Also, I just think we need to figure out a way to avoid starting late at all cost. 5:30 really needs to be our target starting time. I realize people are just sort of filtering in then, but very quickly afterwards, after 5:30, I think we need to be getting the show on the road. Otherwise, it's going to push everything back for the rest of the night. I'm hoping to talk Mindy into moving the Sony player into the Commons area, just to help make sure that that is there. With regard to changes in the setup or in the meal, I think one of the things that we need to do is to set up more tables in the narthex to start off with. I do think that there probably will be a dip in attendance. I would expect that I know there was a little bit of frustration with the way things flowed tonight, and I think maybe we're going to be dealing with fewer folks next week, but I still think maybe 2 or possibly 3 tables out in the narthex would be a good idea, just to make sure that we have the extra capacity if we need to. And then, of course, along with that is the ability to quickly put additional plates and silverware and all that stuff that needs to go there as well. And I'm not sure about the number. I guess sitting here tonight without talking with folks, I think probably 120 is my gut feeling, but for how many we should have food for. But I will leave that up to others to converse about whether that number is correct or not. I do think that we need, under the next section here, we need to find somebody to function as kind of the logistics person and take that role or responsibility away from either Pastor Erica or myself, so that we can really focus on making sure that we stick to the evening's agenda. I do wonder if we could maybe tap those who would otherwise be communion servers on the night to maybe help with some of the last minute logistics that I know we're going to have to be dealing with. The next section, what's needed from Ann, I'm going to skip over, but that's a list of things that we need in the way of material for us to help lead the worship. I do want to figure out a way maybe I want Jesus to walk with me. It'd be good if Jennifer and I could practice my starting that out, but making sure that the sound is on the over the speakers in the sanctuary, so Jennifer will be able to also play along on the piano, and then I'll just stay in the commons until that song is done, and Jennifer will be the one that they hear when they get into the sanctuary. And yeah, I think we need to do a sound check in the commons, and also try to work on getting the best quality to volume ratio that we possibly can. And I do wonder if it wouldn't be good to teach some sort of group silencing action. I've been to camps where it's just we teach the custom to, if a hand is raised, to close your mouth and raise your hand too, so that everybody joins in. If there's some other method that's in use with the youth group to do that kind of thing, we certainly could piggyback on what everybody is used to. I just would need to be taught that. And then with regard to making the meal and the instructions go more smoothly, I'm suggesting that we maybe use the song "We Are Marching" that I debuted there at the children's sermon tonight. There was a method to my madness. I really wanted to demonstrate to everybody how easy it was for me to control the movements of folks just through the actions in that song. And I've had great success at getting people in lockstep doing whatever it is that I need them to do with that particular song. I also had the idea that maybe we would want to just pass out cards, or put cards on the tables, I should say, with instructions that each element of what we need them to do would be laid out in the cards that are listed here. And then it would be just a matter, when we needed somebody to do something, it would be a matter of saying, okay, whoever's got card number 3, do your thing. And that then would maybe speed up what it was that we needed them to do at that time, because presumably they'd have had a chance to look at the card ahead of time and just find out what we were asking for them. So that's basically it. I do down here have the worship service laid out. I think we want to keep the welcome at the beginning, and then let us go now to the banquet as the folks with card number 3 do their thing, and then a time of remembering the communal meal and an opening prayer, and then announcing those with card number 4 to do your thing, to get the food, and then what I thought we'd do is put highs and lows and scraping the food on a card, as well as, let's see, what else did I have on the cards there? I had getting bread, getting the second course, whatever that is, scraping all the food, and then somebody starting the discussion of sharing highs and lows on card number 6. And then I think I had figured 3 of those cards should card holders would be enough to carry the plates back to the kitchen. So you can maybe ask. I guess I don't have that written down here, but ask the 3 card holders to just take the food back to the kitchen, maybe as we're doing We Are Marching in the Light of God. But at any rate, for sure, we would then transition to I Want Jesus to Walk with Me as everybody goes into the sanctuary. And then I went ahead and just moved the children's sermon there as we did tonight, along with the passing of the peace and the prayer of the day, and then a lesson's read, and then a message is given, and then we send everybody to the prayer stations. So that's all I've got for you. Thank you for your part in doing this. I think it was intentionally, or we knew going in it would be chaotic, and it was. But I think that I was very gratified to watch the interaction of the kids with adults in the middle of this. And there was one child who didn't want to go. It was just so fun to listen to her begging her mom to just stay. She wanted to stay until 5 a.m. in the morning. And that to me said that this was a success. I think we just need to tweak a few things, and we've got a great formula here. Again, thank you for your part in this, and thanks for taking the time to listen to me. Take care.